All right, I want to look at take another look at gold today. Um, we've got another massive attack in the gold market, and this is part of what has to happen if um, the banks are going to get trapped into another short squeeze. They have to be enticed into these big attacks to keep building their short position bigger and bigger, and then if the um, collaboration, I'm pretty sure it was a collaboration of hedge funds that uh, orchestrated this back in May. If those hedge funds have enough firepower, then they defend against the attack and they cause a short squeeze. Of course, we can't see into the future and know for sure that that's going to happen, but we do know that this has to happen in order for it to work. That the banks have to be um, lulled into thinking that they can safely just attack the gold market with impunity, and they just pile on these short positions. That's what builds the fuel for the squeeze if it's going to occur. So we've had multiple attacks ever since a couple of weeks ago. It started here. The banks are obviously are trying to prevent gold from moving above 1520. Once that happens, then there's no doubt the squeeze would occur, but it's still up in the air as to whether or not the banks will succeed in breaking the gold market and taking it down and breaking below this low. My feeling was that they would not succeed, and the hedge funds will sucker them into building another huge short position um, that they will not be able to get out of. But in order for that to happen, the hedgies have to defend against these attacks, prevent gold from dropping below this October 1st low, and at some point then they have to drive gold above 1520 to start the squeeze. So we're kind of still in no man's land right now. The banks are attacking. They're building their short position larger and larger, and at this point, we without a crystal ball, we don't know whether or not the banks will succeed or whether the hedge funds will succeed in trapping them into another huge short position that they end up having to cover into a short squeeze. So we'll just have to see how this plays out over the next week or so. Right now, the banks are piling on shorts, trying to prevent gold from moving above 1520. You can see the day has barely even opened, and they've already got almost a full day's worth of volume. So they're building huge short positions, which is the fuel to trigger a squeeze if the hedge funds can defend against these attacks, prevent gold from dropping below the October low, and they need to, at some point, they need to push gold back above 1520 to ignite the squeeze. So right now we're just kind of in no man's land. The banks are on the attack. We'll have to see if the hedge funds defend against it, and if they do, a move above 1520 will almost certainly trigger the next squeeze.